Hello YouTubers, it's Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly video, and I've got just a handful of things to share with you this week. Starting off right off the bat, I got some mail from a gentleman on Instagram. This is his Instagram name, at KOUKIS143. I'm not going to try to pronounce that because I don't really know what it is or means, but so I actually it's kind of crazy that these got sent to me. I'm actually quite overwhelmed by it because what happened was this person, I think, made a comment on one of the photos that I took, and then every once in a while someone makes a nice comment. I just check out their Instagram or whatever, and I noticed I wasn't following him. And then I looked at his collection, and he just has an amazing collection. At least, like, the pictures that he's got up are all Tomica Limited Vintage and just really nice, higher-end premium die-casts. And I'm like, wow, this guy's got an amazing collection. So I just started double-tapping him, because, great cars, great collection. Then I came across this piece right here, this Nissan Fairlady Z S30 custom version from Car-nel, which, from what I know about Car-nel, they're really like kind of a higher quality Kyosho. I think they're Kyosho toolings. But anyway, we're going to take a closer look at them. These are the first Car-nels in my collection. And so anyway, I said, wow, that thing's awesome, or whatever. I commented on it. And then he ended up sending me a DM. He's like, hey, are you interested in it? Do you want it? I'm like, seriously? Like, yeah, I would love to have it. So we're going to work out some sort of trade for it. He just said he wanted to send these to me right away. I've already got one piece that I'm grabbing for him, and then but he sent me a box here with this in it as well. Another Car-nel. This is the Nissan Skyline GTR KPG C10 custom version. Car-nel 1/64 scale. Of course, we're going to get both of these out of the boxes. They are kind of a matching pair. They both have the same rims on them. So we're going to take a peek at these outside of the boxes. I don't know much about Car-nel. There's not that many out there, many castings or whatever that have been released under that name. From what I understand, it's Kyosho. I believe they're Kyosho toolings. And yeah, that's all I really know. But we're going to dig into it more in detail in the second half of the video. Which, by the way, thanks to those who watched my last video for all your kind comments and stuff like that. My son Charlie really dug it. My parents really enjoyed watching it, and it was fun having him as a little co-host. I might bring him out every once in a while. We can talk about some cars with him present. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. All right, so thank you again for those cars, bud. His name's Chris. Thank you very much. Definitely, I got that one thing coming for you that will be this next weekend, and then I'll have to find something else also to throw in for those. But he made it sound like he was going to give it to me in RAOK, and I just couldn't let that happen. I had to agree at least on some piece to begin with, because the problem is when somebody sends you something like, oh, just send me something down the road, it'd be all cool. I don't really like that pressure, and it's kind of hard to decide what's good enough, if we didn't just agree on it beforehand. So this will be a little bit of both. I'll still have to kind of figure out what's worth it for the trade and whatever. Otherwise, it's just tough, and then I feel like I never come across something that's appropriate for the person and whatnot. At least I've gotten into that in the past. All right, so next I got one more piece of mail, and that is my 2019 Redline Club membership, I guess, kit, which comes with this custom Camaro. I'm not going to open this one up because I don't think I'm going to keep it. It kind of matches an RLC Firebird that I have that's black and red, but I don't know. We'll take a look at it close up. There's something I noticed about this right away that I think just kind of looks not really good. So we'll take a peek at it close up in the second segment of the video, and I'll kind of explain myself. By the way, these are not numbered. There is no number on the back. Okay, it just says, congratulations on joining the most awesome car club on the planet. We're kicking your membership off right with a limited edition custom Camaro. Well, we don't really know how limited it is. I guess it probably depends on how many memberships they sell. Who knows? I'm not really sure. I don't know. It's okay. I mean, it's black. It looks cool, but whatever. I'll get into that in more detail in the second segment. All right, so the next stuff that I got, I didn't find a single item in the store. I don't think I did. If I did, it was just like duplicate stuff that's not worth showing here. Yeah, so I went and grabbed. So basically, what happened is I purchased a bunch of stuff out of the Chuck collection, and I'm kind of, if you don't know what the Chuck collection is, it was a friend of mine that unfortunately passed away due to liver cancer, and then I started liquidating the collection for his widow. In the beginning, when I got the collection, I picked out a bunch of stuff that I wanted to purchase from the collection, and then I kind of been purchasing it here and there and just kind of setting it aside. And then basically what I've been doing is I've been working it into videos as needed. So I didn't have much to show you today, so I grabbed some stuff out of the Chuck collection, and then we're going to show it. So that's the story. But yeah, and again, I do have Championdjk's used little car lot on Facebook. You can definitely check that out if you're interested. Mostly right now, it's been just kind of mainline loose cars and a bunch of stuff that have been up there. Not really anything too high end. But occasionally I do put some pretty cool stuff on there. But I'm getting now finally towards kind of the tail end of this collection. There's still quite a bit to go, but still a lot of Matchbox I got to go through, but all that stuff. But anyway, it's been an undertaking, and I've been doing it now for over a year. So, all right. So anyway, this is just some stuff, and I still got a lot of stuff of mine that I got to show that I've pulled from there, and I just haven't, like I said, I'm going to work it into videos when I need it for content. So, and some of it's going to be 10 Car Tuesday stuff and yada yada. All right. So anyway, I picked out a few things to share and open. This is the Custom 66 Gto Wagon from the Larry's Garage series. Very, very cool. We're going to go ahead and open up that and take a look. I've got this interesting Walker Racing Suburban from Hot Wheels. I really don't know anything about this. It's got a copyright date of 1999. Not really sure, but it's pretty cool. It's a big casting. We'll take a look at that. I got a couple of cool classics. Most of these are Mustangs. He was a Mustang collector, so I just grabbed some of those Mustangs. This is a 1970 Ford Mustang Mach 1 from the Cool Classics series. Just the Cool Classics I did not have, so we'll go ahead and open that one up. And then a 65 Mustang. Pretty cool there. And then we've got, sticking with Hot Wheels, this one's pretty awesome. This is a Vintage Racing Mach 1. Or Ed Terry's 70 Ford Mustang, so we will definitely open up that one. I'm pretty pumped about that. That's cool. I think I only have like one other vintage racing car in my collection from there. It's too bad I didn't collect during that time. This thing I thought was really cool. This is a Mustang Cobra. I believe this is it's got to be a Corgi tooling. This came out in 1996. It's the copyright date, so 97 likely. It's like a Fox body Mustang, but it is the Corgi tooling with Hot Wheels wheels. And I've seen the Corgi tooling before, and it just looked awful. But actually, with these lace Hot Wheels wheels, I think it looks pretty decent. So I'm excited to kind of open up that one and take a look at that as well. So again, this is going to be a Mustang heavy episode. So if you're not a Mustang fan, another Mustang that's like a Fox body Mustang. This is the Turbo Mustang from the Hot Ones. And by Hot Ones, I mean circa 1979, 1980. So here's this one. I really don't know what year this actually came out in. It's got a copyright date of both 1979 and 1980. I'm guessing it came out in 1980. It's got a Hong Kong base on it. The card is, basically falling off. And we're going to go ahead and open it up the rest of the way and get it out of that package, before I move it around too much and package rub and all that stuff. It's cool to keep vintage cars in their packaging, man, but it's just better to take them out because they don't, rub against the... I've had a lot of cars that I've had on card that were vintage like that, and you pull them out and the one side of it that's been rubbing against the cardboard for all those years, not always great. So, all right, and then sticking with the Mustang thing for a little bit, this is a Johnny Lightning spoiler series. This is from 2009, it looks like, possibly 2010, so later Johnny Lightning, before round two. I don't know, whatever. We're going to go ahead and open up that one. And then another Mustang is this one right here. This I just picked out because I thought it was interesting. It's a Kidco. It's a weird little Kidco convertible Mustang. The one weird thing about it is the trunk opens, but the hood does not. So that's what they chose to have open on this car, was the trunk. It's also got some suspension. It's an interesting tooling, so we'll take a look at that. And then a couple other interesting things. I picked up this just because I thought it would maybe be really cool to do a custom with it at some point in time. This Hauler's over-the-road power trucks surfing fun. I just thought that was pretty wild. Cool looking casting. Ugly paint job, but that can be rectified. So we'll open up that though and we'll take a look at it. I'm probably just gonna open it and then I'm gonna put it right over in my custom projects to do when I get back into customizing at some point. So it will happen eventually. And then this I picked up as well out of there. This is a rechargeable motorized racer. It's a Sizzler, which Sizzlers, you may be, if you're familiar with Hot Wheels, you may be familiar with Sizzlers. Sizzlers are something that has been around, or that were around back in the day, and then got re-released again. And now this one is a Playing Mantis Sizzler. So it's Playing Mantis, but it is not labeled as a Johnny Lightning or anything like that. I guess Sizzler is a trademark of some other corporation that's been used under license to Playing Mantis. I'm looking for a copyright date. 1996. So these ain't that old, but I thought this was interesting, and it's a Firebird. So that's the real reason why I had to have it. We are going to open it up, though, and we are going to take a peek at it in the second segment. And then the only other thing I've got here is this Matchbox Superman. Oh, man, and I should have looked it up. I forgot which series this came in, but it's like some Battles Accessories series, which we'll pull this battle thing off. It is the Superman 2 casting from Matchbox, which is a pretty cool casting, and it's got this like added armor and missiles on the top. I don't know if it's missing something or if you can just move the missiles from the top to the bottom. It might be missing a piece. I don't really know, but it's really cool just to get this in mint shape. So aside from maybe that outer cage thing. All right, so that's gonna be it. So I guess we got some cool stuff to look at in the second segment. It's kind of an eclectic bunch of stuff. We're gonna start with those Car-nel 64s because I really want to give them some attention. So I'm gonna open those up and take a peek at those first thing. So stay tuned. Okay, so as promised, we're going to start with these Car-nel 64s. We're going to start with this Nissan Fairlady Z S30 custom version. I didn't take it out of the package yet because I kind of just wanted to show you all how it was packaged. First of all, it's got this plastic sleeve over the top here. I'll try to pull this out. All right, so there is that. And then it is in an acrylic case covered by cardboard, not too much unlike, your modern M2. We're going to go ahead and try to pull that out. I'm going to try to pull this out without damaging this box. We're going to pause. Okay, just managed to get the box open without ripping it. I just wanted to do that. So even though I'm not a carded collector, I do, for these premium diecast models, I do keep all of the packaging because they can be reinserted to the packing. This is just in case later on I decide to trade it or do something with it, or just in case I have to move, and it's more convenient to just move this stuff in its original packaging than trying to like pack it up real neat and tidy. So here it is. Just still screwed to the base here. The acrylic case is really high quality. The base has kind of got a nice shiny finish to it. And it's just, man, you can already tell the detail on this thing is definitely here. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this from the base, and I'm going to be very careful in doing so because we got these mirrors that are on the front there that we do not want to break. So I got it off the base. Like your typical Kyosho, it was very easy to get off of the base. Let's take a look at the base. So yep, it is labeled a Kyosho, made in China. It is got a plastic base. It is screwed together. The wheels look great on this thing. Just got to be careful of those mirrors. The mirror's kind of got like a reflective surface on the back side, which is really cool. It actually does roll. Got Car-nel on the front with lens detail on the front. Very, very cool 240Z lens detail on the back. I didn't have a Kyosho 240, so this is really, really cool to get for that reason alone. The other reason is it's a Car-nel, and I just haven't had anything Car-nel in my collection. The mirrors seem like they are very, very fragile, so this is not too different from like the Kyosho beads collection, if you are familiar with that. There is what looks like a slight paint flaw right here on the front of the car. No big deal at all. Very, very awesome. It looks like it's very detailed, including the interior is actually quite detailed as well, with the steering wheel having like some wood grain. Looks like the shift knob is painted as well. Really good, and I do like these tires, the rims, quite a bit. I think they're pretty awesome. So very, very detailed. You guys know I collect the Datsun Zs and the Nissan Zs. I'm a big fan of those cars, and I collect them. So this is really cool to add this. I think eventually in the future I will go ahead and do like a feature video on the Nissan Zs or Datsun 240Zs. Kind of compare a bunch of different brands and stuff like that. I know Heavy Metal 164 has already done that as well, but it'd be nice to do it with my collection. So now this Nissan GTR, Hackls Skyline, that's what it is. It's kind of a matching pair, and you can see why. It's got the mirrors there. Detail. Inserts for taillights. They're not like lensed, but they're inserts. Inserts for headlamps. Same wheels and tires. There's your base, 164 scales, Kyosho. So you can kind of tell, yeah. I mean, basically what they are is just like a slightly almost like premium or more detailed Kyosho. I don't think like a lot of the Kyoshos that you'd buy of either of these toolings would have the mirrors on them, so I think that's an add. I know there's a version of this without this lip on the front, so this little body kit thing on the front. There is a version of that available. These are really cool, though. So I am super happy to add these to the collection. Thank you very much, Chris, for that. I really appreciate you reaching out to me on this one, just because I expressed an interest in it and, you know, being like, hey. And I'm surprised you gave these up, to be honest, because they are very, very nice. All right, so very, very cool. Thank you very much. This match pair is just fantastic. So I'm going to set those aside for right now. We're going to move on to something else. We've got, let's do this right here. Talk about the Redline Club. So I know, come on, everybody gripes about the Redline Club, whether it is shipping issues or it is just trying to buy the cars that is the issue. I've been actually quite lucky on the site, and so have my local buddies here. I've been fairly lucky with the site, and just website issues in general and all that stuff, and just blah 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 blah. But you know, if you don't stop buying it, they're not gonna fix anything. But so I decided last year I got 2 memberships. This year I decided, you know what, I'm just going to get 1. There's no reason for me to get 2. And I'm glad. I mean, this car right here, I'm probably just going to ditch. And by ditch, I mean just trade it or something. I don't know, or sell it. I'm not sure. Might hang on to it for a little while before I do that, but it's just not very good. It's got the neoclassic wheels, but it doesn't have the neoclassic wheels with the rubber tires like they released on the Datsun when the last membership was for sale. Those were cool. These aren't so cool. I mean, they're plastic tires. They, first of all, the circumference of the diameter of these wheels looks way small for the wheel wells that they're in. So it just looks really weird. I mean, I know it's going to have some suspension in it because it's got the old Redline axles, so it will have some suspension. But still, I just don't know about this thing, man. I mean, it does look pretty nice, but the wheels just seem to be really, really small in comparison to how they would look here on this car. Maybe if you get it out of the package and you set it down, it'll settle a little bit and the wheels will appear up a little bit in the wheel well, but they just look like they're too small to me. So, I don't know. I'm surprised you got it this quick, though, because usually you don't get them this quick. Usually you got to wait like a year before you get your car, so that was pretty cool. All right, so there's that. I just wanted to take a peek at that first and gripe about it for a minute. Then let's take a look at this Praying Mantis Sizzlers. I don't know anything about these. All I know is it's a Firebird, so I had to have it. So I went ahead and cut the packaging open. I probably will save some of this packaging information just because. That's the other thing I do tend to do every once in a while. I'll save some card backs and stuff like that just to have the information hard copied. So pretty interesting. This thing rolls like super smooth. I wonder if the battery works in it. I got it switched on right now, but obviously it charges via like a wireless charging system that's not all that different. At least I think it's a wireless charging system that's not all that different than like your modern like cell phone, iPhone would charge wirelessly. I think it's an inductor-based charging. But it's pretty cool. It's a plastic body. It's just an interesting thing to add to the Firebird collection, so I had to pick that up. I guess there's really not that much else to say about it, except for it's got plastic front wheels, it's got rubber back wheels. It'd be neat, though, to see it go. I know Sizzler Racing, I don't know, it's probably something they'll do at the Hot Wheels convention. I know they have some like Hot Wheels downhill races and stuff like that. But these little powered cars that would just race around a track. Kind of neat. It's kind of neat, different than slot car. And just kind of an interesting thing. So glad to have a Firebird example of that. And then sticking with odd stuff, we got this here. Danger High Explosive. This is the Supervan 2. Some missiles on top. I believe these are removed. Yeah, you can just take them out. I don't know if this originally had something else up here, which it very well might have. I don't know. Should have looked it up. But heavy load. Let's go ahead and take this thing off. So it comes off pretty easy. There's your armor for the van. Here's the van itself. Pretty basic tampo actions, danger, high explosive. Love this tooling though, the Ford Supervan 2. Just a really cool thing in 1/62 scale. Just a very cool Matchbox. Trying to get every variations of this, and there are definitely some tough ones to get. They don't come too easy. This one does not have an interior. I don't think any of these did. Really cool. They've made some cool versions of this with like lights and sound where it had like sirens and stuff. And basic versions of it as well. But it really, really awesome. So glad to add that to the collection. And this, sticking with some oddball stuff for a minute, this is that Kidco. The reason why I wanted this is because only Kidco car I've really ever had in my collection were those ones that were like Kidco key cars where you could launch the car with a key. And they had like a rubber bumper in the front. So I haven't had one that's just like a straight up die-cast model, which this is. So Kidco 1979, made in Hong Kong. This does have suspension. It rolls really well, and the trunk opens to reveal, I guess, what sort of is tooled in there like a spare tire. But really you can see like right into the inside of the car. There's the way the suspension works, very, very simple. It's part of the plastic base that bends up and down, which I'm sure wears out after time. Just a little convertible Mustang, and I just thought it was somewhat interesting, so I had to show it here. And then, sticking with the odd before we jump into some cool Mustangs, here's that Surfing Fun. These things are weird. This thing is heavy, though, let me tell you. It's got a plastic base, I know that. 3 rivets there on the bottom. Plastic base. Beach cruiser. Imagine that cruising down the beach. Get out of the way. Alright, so like I said, just a cool looking thing, and I think that this would make a really amazing looking custom. Like, you could do something really cool with this. Like, I could put headlights in this. There's a lot of space because there's no interior. I could do some really weird, cool, creative stuff with it. And eventually, maybe sometime within the next 10 years, I'll do it. So, but that's what I had in mind when I saw this. I'm like, I just got to grab this thing because it's, I don't know, it's pretty interesting. Interesting looking bus. Just would make a really cool Hot Wheels custom. So there it is, copyright date 2000, Hot Wheels. There's probably not too many of these out there because I don't think they made them for very long. But what do you think about that? Pretty interesting. All right. Then, all right. Oh yeah, actually, I have a couple more non-Mustang things here. We got this guy here, Gto Wagon. Love this tooling. Definitely want every version of it out. And here this one is. That looks fantastic. Silver, gray hub wheels. Actually having it be like gray right in the front, it's like a grayed out car. Actually looks really good. You got the dog in the back. Headlights or taillights are detailed. Headlights are not, but that's okay. I just think that's a classy looking automobile right there from good old Larry's garage. So I don't think you can go wrong with that one. I don't think you can argue it. Especially if you're a fan of wagons, you definitely want this one. I've got a lot of this. Well, not a lot. I think I've got a few of this tooling. I think they have released a bit in like pop culture lineups and stuff like that, and that stuff I don't really care about. But the stuff that looks like more of a realistic livery or deco is something that I will definitely want if I don't have it. But real nice looking casting. I love this casting. I think it looks great. So awesome. All right, there's that. And then here we go. Number 5, Walker Racing Team. What's this about? I don't know. Walker Racing, though, is a dynamic engineering-based company that provides its clients a marketing program centered around the sport of motor racing. So there you go. You can read the rest of that if you want to. But we're here for the diecast. This is 1999. These one of 15,000. So this is number 5135 of 15,000. So not a rare piece by any means. More rare than a Super Treasure Hunt, though. And pretty cool. I don't know how many times Hot Wheels released this Suburban casting. I know that I have not seen it really hardly at all. It's got a lot of stuff going on in the interior of this car. But here it is on Real Riders. Metal body, chrome plastic base, rubber tires with tread, Real Riders. And overall, I think it's an interesting piece. Probably get one for not too expensive if you wanted one. But I will probably look up this tooling and see if I can get anything else, like more of a civilian livery. Wait, I think I did. Didn't I just get one? I did just get one, something like this. What series was that in? It was in like a. I actually can see it from here. It's like far away, but it was on like big rims and. You know what? Hang on, I can see it from here. Now, I don't remember what card I pulled this out of, but here it is. Oh, yeah, it was the Team Bartwell. It says right on the side here. Here you go. This is that Suburban casting. Same tooling. Guess that's a more civilian livery. A little bit Pimp My Ride, but pretty cool. So there you go. All right, so there's that Suburban. Pretty neat. And then I think that's it for stuff now. We got Mustangs coming up. So if you're not a Mustang fan, you can shut the video off. But here it is, 1965 Ford Mustang from Giant Lightning. This is one we'll take a look at first. Basically, I grabbed it just because it was kind of like a vintage racing kind of thing going on with it, with the number on the side and the number on the hood and all of that, and kind of the flat black on the front of the car. This one, the hood does open, revealing a somewhat, at least painted, detail engine. This one has plastic tires and a plastic base, but still looks pretty good. And I think it's the only version of this tooling I have from Johnny Lightning, so that's cool too. But other than that, real basic looking, but it looks okay. Alright, there's that. And then let's go cool classics. Let's go this one here. This is the Mustang Mach 1. Cool Classics. Cool Classic series is kind of neat. One thing that's neat about the Cool Classics, whoa, lots of paint flakage coming off of the bottom rivet there. Just spilled right out of the packaging. One neat thing about the Cool Classic series is that these wheels have never been seen again. So these retro slots, I think is what they call them. To my knowledge, these have not been put in any cars except for in the Cool Classic series. The other thing that's kind of neat about it is this paint, the Spectre Frost paint, I don't think has ever been used again either. And that has been since what? I think 2013 or 2014 might have been when the Cool Classics ended. So a couple of, I guess, neat things about the series is not reusing those wheels and the paint jobs themselves. Here's another one. This is the 65 Mustang. This one I don't think is as cool as the Mach 1. It's got kind of a weird purplish paint job, which is not that great. Those retro slot wheels. It is metal body, metal base. This one does have a metal base as well, by the way. So they are metal on metal, even though they don't have rubber tires. I think that was the main complaint, too, by collectors for not picking these up, was that they were a premium line and they did not have rubber tires. So people thought they were overpriced. Which, I can kind of see that, but they were only, I think, at least at one of my Targets, they were like $2.50. I know some places they were like $3.50 a piece. I think it would be a line, though, if they put some desirable castings in it and they came back out with another round of Cool Classics. Guaranteed people would pick them up. Imagine if they changed the wheels and made like a real rider version of this or something like that. Definitely people would pick them up. Cool Classics wasn't all licensed models, though, either, so that was probably another part of it. Then we got this Ed Terry 70 Ford Mustang, which is really the Ford Mustang Mach 1 tooling. I believe it's, no, maybe it is a little different than this other one. Well, let's just open it up and find out. It is different, actually. Really cool. Ford drag team, Ed Terry. Yeah, this is pretty awesome. I don't think I have, I got a little packaging rub there on the side. Like I said, you just got to be aware of that. That's why sometimes buying cars loose when you know they're in great shape is almost better than buying one on a bad card. This Hot Wheels Vintage Racing series that came out in like 2011, I think it was. It's too bad I wasn't collecting during that time, and you know, whoever hoarded that 510 from that series has got collection funds for probably the remainder of the time they collect. If they decide to get rid of them. But pretty cool. It looks almost like this casting, but it's not. Very similar, though. It's got the hood thing going on. The louvers in the back window. Metal body, metal base. It's got that. The front looks completely different. They're different cars. But, I don't know. This is pretty awesome. Just another vintage racing to add. It's got these huge fat slicks in the back and then relatively smaller tires in the front. I think it's pretty cool looking. Definitely glad to join the collection. It's from an era when they did tampos a little bit different too. The graphics on the car actually look a lot crisper and nicer than your modern graphic, so that's another plus for sure. Alright, so only got two more cars, and then these are both, I think there's only two more. Yeah, and these are both Fox bodies. We got this one and then a vintage car. We'll do the vintage car last. This one here, I don't know, man. That looks pretty good for a Hot Wheel. And it's not a Hot Wheel. It's not a metallic tooling. It's a Corgi tooling. And that's why. It definitely feels cheap right off the bat. It's got a plastic base, 4 rivets in its construction. The back, I think, opens, yeah. But it doesn't have a window in it at all. I don't know. That's pretty sweet. It actually would be cool, like if someone wanted to do some cool Fox Body Mustang customs, this probably would be the tooling to get if you could find some Corgi ones. And I guess it doesn't really matter if they're in rough shape or not, as long as you got a nice, decent windshield. You don't have to spend a lot of time like wet sanding that and getting it to look cool. They have clear detail in the front for the headlamps. And I think overall, like proportionately, I think the car looks pretty good. It's kind of weird. It's got a trailer hitch on it, which is kind of goofy, but other than that, I think it looks pretty good. That is a cool example of a Mustang to have in the collection, and another Corgi tooling. So, somewhat neat. And then we got this right here. This is the Turbo Mustang. I don't know when the last time they released this tooling is, but no, it's definitely not something they've released anytime recently. This one is, like I said, I think it's from 1980. And these old cards, sometimes the blisters pop right off. Sometimes they don't. There we go. Freeing it from its destroyed packaging. We got lucky on this one. She came out clean. It's got Hot Wheels wheels, so it's got a little bit of bounce to it. Love that vintage deco. Looks fantastic. This one's got clear detail on the rear of the car as opposed to the front. That is pretty cool. Turbo Mustang. Love the gold Hot Ones. Love the vintage looking deco of this car. It just looks great. It's perfect for late 70s, early 80s. That looks awesome. That is a really cool old, I guess you consider it Blackwall Hot Wheel, because it's from the Blackwall era, and looks absolutely fantastic. I really like it. So I think that's going to be it for this video. Yes, definitely it for this video. Just a real quick re-showing, if you stuck around. These guys definitely were the highlight of the week for me. Well, technically, mostly because it's really the only thing new that has entered the collection this week. The other stuff was really already in my collection. But really cool. Might do a comparison maybe with this car and the M2 version of it. And maybe the green light version as well. But it looks great, and it looks great in white. Same with this car. Wow. All right, so super happy about those. Thank you guys very much for watching another weekly episode. We should have a nice 10-car Tuesday and a nice Matchbox Monday coming up per usual. I still got to pick out the cars for the 10-car Tuesday one, but probably do a Johnny Lightning or something like that. It'll be nice and easy. I don't have to look up any casting history. I can just roll with what I got. And, yeah, we'll do that. I want to come up with some feature videos sometime soon. I don't know. Let me know if you guys are watching still at the end of this video. Do I need any more content during the week, or is that going to be overkill? I'd like to throw out, so right now I'm doing 3 videos a week. I want to throw out, sometimes I like to do another feature video. Basically, it's usually something new in store that I find, and I feel like I have to get it out right away. Like, for instance, those throwback series cars that I just did a video on. So since I decided to do a video on those, I wasn't going to put them in a weekly video. I just give them a standalone video, a quick, pop-up video, and let it go. Thinking about possibly doing another weekly feature, but the issue with that is having to commit to another one. So you guys let me know. I mean, if you want to see more content, if you think that would be cool to put out another weekly video, it might be something I'd release on like a Friday and just call it like Feature Friday maybe. There's that. And then I also did have another idea for a video. If you're still sticking around here, maybe I could get your opinion on it. The idea for the video is to get people's opinions. Okay. Basically, it'd be like a hot topic video. The first video in the pair of videos would be me bringing up, and thank you guys if you guys are sticking around, me bringing up some sort of hot topic in diecast, whether it be scalping or the Lamley group or, something, something about diecast where people tend to have different opinions on. Me kind of giving you my take on it in the original video and then asking for your feedback. And then in the second video regarding the same topic, maybe I let it go for like 2 weeks. And then in 2 weeks, I would go ahead and revisit the topic. And when I do that, I would, basically quote people from the comments of the first video. And we would talk about that and then what I thought about their comments and all of that stuff. I just thought it might breed some good discussion. It could be opening up a can of worms. You still have to keep it family friendly in the comments and stuff like that. And I could definitely see some argument going back and forth. And just kind of an opinion piece, more of a talking kind of video where I don't show too many cars but really just talk to you about my opinions on certain things within this hobby, and also kind of shouting out people that have given opinions on the previous video. So if someone articulates their opinion very well, I will share it, and we will talk about it. So yeah, that's it. So if you guys stuck around for that, let me know what you think about that video concept. Always let me know what you think. I do read every comment. I swear to you, I do. I do not respond to hardly any of them, and most of that is because of time constraint. So I apologize for that, but I do read everything. I promise you, I do read your comments when you do comment on my videos. Like I said, I just cannot reply to all of them. I don't have the time. I barely have the time to do this channel, period. Between, wife and kids. You guys all get it. I know everybody's busy, so it is what it is. I sink as much time as I possibly can into this, and I love doing it. So yeah, that's it. All right, so sorry for dragging on there for a moment, but thank you guys very much for watching and staring at this beautiful 240Z here. So have a great week.